We have the pleasure of having this event at the home of Ron Hirsch. Who is Ron and Toby, you know, our closest friends and partners, and truly building a new vision for the Russian Jewish community in America. We're going to discuss some really exciting ideas that we have in the works. And it's really amazing being here in your home. And Ron is yeah, I think that many of you have been to Ron's to the home here and enjoyed it very much. And Ron will address us with a few words.
I hope Rabbi Pekoski would speak a little longer so that I could collect my thoughts. And I wanted to finish reading this. It's very moving. Anyway, I think about this project a lot, about this program a lot. I was involved, some of you have heard me speak maybe in Brighton, in the Jewish Center. And I was, when I was in high school, I used to go and march on the Soviet embassy. And we used to demand, both in placards and in slogans that we would shout out in front of the embassy to free the Jews from the Soviet Union and allow them to come to the Western world and be able to practice their Judaism. And we did it for many, many years, and it fell on deaf ears until one day suddenly the gates opened up and the Jews were allowed out, and I watched as the American community dropped the ball. And nobody did anything. And Jews would come here, flooding neighborhoods in Brighton and Manhattan Beach and different parts of the metropolitan area. And I was just amazed at how we as a people froze. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to react to Jews coming out of the Soviet Union. And unfortunately, I think we almost let an opportunity slip away. But what I saw in the last few months over here is that the hope for people that emigrated from the Soviet Union was not going to come so much from the Jews that live here. It's going to come from yourselves. It's going to come from, there's an expression called the Pintel Yid. The Pintel Yid is the Jew inside of all of us, that whether we practice Judaism, whether we stayed in touch with our Judaism, it's always there. Even if we never saw a Pesach Seder, or we never went into a shul, or we never put on a pair of tefillin, or we never wore tzitzis or a yarmulke, it's there. And what we need, all of us in our lives, is something to spark us. It's something to light the fire. So this atheist by the name of Michael Steinhardt comes along, and he starts a program called Birthright. And what he was really aiming for was something that would stem assimilation in America, which was at 60%. And his idea was that any Jew that goes to Israel and just feels it for a week, for 10 days, he doesn't have to go to a shul, he doesn't have to eat kosher food, just feel where you are and remember who you are, and the rest will take care of itself. As a result of this giant's work, a lot of you got to experience Israel for the first time, and a lot of you are sitting here today. My good fortune is to have been able to see how difficult it was for your families to come out and to see an evolution of a process. And this is really what we're all about. You know, now we're in Pesach, right? Where we talk about a time of being slaves and coming into freedom and the beginning of a nation. This was the roots of our nation, this time of year, right? This is what we're celebrating on Pesach. You're a celebration of the beginning of Jews that were thrown into an exile where they weren't allowed to practice their Judaism, where they weren't allowed to continue on in the long and glorious history of our people, and the experience where we have to be a light of a nation. You were taken out of the game, and now you're here. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me the opportunity to partner up with you in what I think is going to be a historic effort. We're going to do something unbelievable here, something that none of us would have dreamed of 20 years ago. And we're going to take a massive community of extremely talented, bright people, and we're going to create the next leadership wave for the Jewish people in the future. So, first of all, thank you. We spoke about, you know, there's something that we started doing over here. We only did it a couple of times, but each time I walked away, my Shabbos was blown away. We had guests from this group over here in our home, and every Shabbos that we experienced it, believe me, you're not doing yourself a favor. You're doing me a favor. You know, my family gets to meet you. We get to spend time with you, and we get to learn how lucky we've been, and how much there is in your potential, how we can help you to arrive at a point where you're going to have your own inertia, and you're going to be able to fly and be true leaders over here. So I think that, and I was just talking to Rabbi Tokarski about it a little while ago. I think the ability that you have to send a message out to the American Jewish community is also tremendous. It's not only what you're able to do for yourselves as a community, to build a Russian Jewish community, to constantly lift yourselves spiritually, and become great leaders. I think what you can do to the American community, what you could do for the American community is really profound. So I don't know who's supposed to speak next. I'm about done. I'm choked up. Because you know, my field of work, I'm in business, and I'm an organization guy. I help put structure into organizations, and I help organizations, not just my own, but other organizations that I'm a part of, build themselves. And I hope to be involved in your own group. We had a group in our house with Ina Lamb and several of the other girls over here, where we spoke about possibly building committees over here that would work in a organized, structured way to achieve more and more. And I hope to be involved in that process if you let me, and in time get to know all of you.
We'll see.
Give me a shot. I'm not a bad guy. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.